Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
And I told the families gathered last night what I hope is clear among the hundreds of pages and thousands of details in this report. Their loved ones deserve better.
They deserved better. These are the loved ones he was talking about, the 21 plus victims who died after they were shot inside Robb Elementary.
Today, the Department of Justice investigation concluding with that report that outlined cascading failures and no urgency. Those were just some of the words U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland used to describe the law enforcement response to the shooting at Robb Elementary.
Today, the Department of Justice releasing a nearly 600-page report outlining the failures of responding officers more than 18 months ago. Our Lee Waldman live tonight in Uvalde. Lee, I'm sure this presentation brought out a lot of emotions, especially in the families of those victims.
Myra, Steve, this was reminiscent of the day the Robb shooting happened. That's what the families were telling me. They said they were reminded by a media circus and also waiting on officials to give them answers. Now, this also validated what they have been saying is true for the past 20 months now. Law enforcement did not act in the way that they were supposed to on May 24th, 2022, when a gunman was inside of that school behind me. Vanita Gupta, the Associate Attorney General, says this report attempted to take a hard look at the response, and the truth is it was an abject failure. Gupta shared that children who were dead were taken by ambulance to the hospital, while children who were shot and bleeding were put on a school bus with no medical supplies. She says a teacher who was shot was laid on the sidewalk outside of the school to get treatment there, and that is where she ultimately died. When the shooter was finally killed after 77 minutes, families were directed to the Civic Center, where they were incorrectly told another bus was on its way filled with children. That bus never came. The report states a group of families were, quote, notified of the deaths of their family members by personnel untrained in delivering such painful news, unquote. Now, ahead of the DOJ's report coming out, we spoke to some of the families of the 21. They said they were hopeful this report would leave no stone unturned and that it would spur action. Today, they stood together, making that message clear.
I hope that the failures end today and that local officials do what wasn't done that day, do right by the victims and survivors of Robb Elementary, terminations, criminal prosecutions. And our state and federal government enact sensible gun laws, because Robb Elementary began the day an 18-year-old wasn't allowed to purchase an AR-15.
Attorney General Merrick Garland touched on that as well, saying our children deserve better than to grow up in a country where an 18-year-old can bring that kind of a weapon into a classroom rather than have it on the battlefield. Now that this report is complete, the families here are thinking about the next steps. They say that is on the Uvalde County District Attorney Christina Mitchell to file criminal charges on those who can be held accountable.
This is probably the most extensive piece that we have about all of the failures that happened that day. What else does she possibly need to prosecute or to remove these people from their positions of power when they can't even do their jobs?
Now, just like us, those families are still working their way through this 600-page report to learn all of what it entails. Now, the Associate AG, Vanita Gupta, says they made 273 recommendations to law enforcement agencies across our country about how they should respond to an active shooter before, during, and afterwards.
Lee, there was a lot that we unfortunately already knew in this report, that it took law enforcement 77 minutes, that there was a lack of action on that day. But we also learned today in this report that some officers went into the classrooms after the shooting was over to essentially look at the aftermath, and that compromised the crime scene in some ways. What was the reaction from families when they heard that?
So So there wasn't a lot in this report that was shocking, but what you just mentioned, Myra, that was shocking to them. That was shocking to us looking through this report. We had no idea that that crime scene was compromised. So after something like this happens, they send in crime scene investigators to start documenting every piece of evidence that they can find inside of where a crime scene is. That's between classrooms 111 and 112. What we learned from this report and from the DOJ examining some of that body-worn camera footage was that personnel who did not have to go inside of that classroom after the fact, they went back in just to see the horrific aftermath for themselves. And because of that, there was a delay in those crime scene investigators getting all of that material together. They had to stop and start. One of those recommendations from the DOJ is that when there is a crime scene, no one should be allowed to come inside of that crime scene until the work of the crime scene investigators is done.
Yeah, they had to put up with law enforcement gawkers in the middle of all that. I cannot believe it. All right, Lee, Kim Rubio, who lost her daughter, was very clear. Do right by the victims and survivors of Robb Elementary. It's a call for police officers across the country. But now that this report is out there, there are other reports we're expecting. What should we expect to come next? And do you think somebody will be prosecuted in all this?
The prosecution all comes down to the Uvalde County District Attorney Christina Mitchell. And as we have reported on consistently over these past 20 months, she is keeping her lips sealed. She is not communicating with us, and she is keeping communication with the families who are directly affected by this tragedy. She's keeping that communication very minimal. She has said in the past because she doesn't want to taint her investigation. Now, we were promised that before the holidays, so back in October, the then superintendent of Uvalde CISD said that they were planning on tearing down this school because the investigation from Christina Mitchell would be progressed far enough that the grand jury could have walked through. We are now in January, and that still has not happened. She has still not sat a grand jury to see if there will be any charges filed from what happened inside of Robb Elementary. Now, also looking at next steps, we know that these families are angry. We know this report listed Mariana Vargas and Pete Arredondo. Vargas, let's remind you, he won his county commissioner seat back again and is an elected official here in Uvalde. So we imagine that that next county commissioners court meeting will be a fiery one as families come with this report in hand and demand accountability and answers and ask for him to resign that seat. So there's going to be a lot that happens now that this report is out. We also know that another investigative report, an independent look into the city of Uvalde's response, that should be coming any time now. So once that happens, we'll have more to go off of.
Lee, we know we're not getting a lot of answers from the DA at this point, but I want everyone to know we're still asking. We're still asking those questions. You are, as well as our entire team here. Lee in Uvalde tonight. Thank you so much. There are 600 pages in that DOJ report. We know it is a lot to process. We have had an entire team doing that for you today. We have a breakdown on our website, including several key takeaways from all of those hundreds of pages. You can find that right now on KSAT.com.
And our reports from Uvalde, of course, will continue tonight on the Night Beat. Meanwhile, state authorities started arresting adult migrants in Shelby Park in Eagle Pass late last night. The Texas Department of Public Safety actually posted videos of the arrests on social media. Lieutenant Chris Olivares said these are the first migrant arrests at the park since the state took custody and control of the area a week ago. The migrants are being charged with criminal trespassing. According to Olivares, migrant families and children are then being handed over to the U.S. Border Patrol.
Meantime, the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals will rehear the case over the Texas border buoys in the Rio Grande. The floating barriers are expected to stay in the river near Eagle Pass, pending the outcome of that rehearing. Governor Greg Abbott had the buoys installed as part of his border security initiative. Last year, the Justice Department filed a lawsuit claiming the governor deployed those buoys illegally. In December, the appeals court ordered the state to remove them. Oral arguments are not set to begin, though, until mid-May.
There were lights, sirens, a gunshot in one local neighborhood, all before the sun came up. San Antonio police shot and killed a man who they say had a gun in his hand at the time.
As Katrina Weber reports, the shooting happened during what was supposed to be a traffic stop.
On a curvy South Side street, San Antonio police say a driver headed straight into deadly trouble. 2 officers had tried to stop him around 2 this morning on East South Cross near Mission Road. But they say as they got him out of his vehicle, the man fought with them.
Suspect had a gun in his hand, and at some point during that altercation, the officer fired 1 round at the suspect.
The 42-year-old driver who was shot in his side did not survive. Although Chief William McManus did not release his name right away, he wasted no time sharing other details.
A long history of violent offenses, currently out on probation.
The shooting happened just down the street from an elementary school. As children arrived later, most signs of what happened had disappeared.
I did not hear any shootings. I mean, shootings, unfortunately, are common in this area, and we didn't hear anything.
Ashley Phillips might have slept through it all had it not been for the flashing lights outside her home.
Tons of police cars, officers standing around. We saw a detective arrive at the scene, but that's all we could see.
She says she only found out there was a shooting from watching the news.
It didn't take police long at all to wrap up their investigation here at the scene. Within about 2 hours, this entire area was cleared out. But the chief says the case is far from closed.
Among other things, he says investigators will be reviewing video from the officers' body cameras to learn more. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
A confession from a suspected murderer shown to a jury today. That admission came from Hilson Avila Rodriguez during a police interrogation. Avila Rodriguez is on trial for the murders of Nicholas Milanovich and Julia Wright in September of 2018. The more than 2-hour-long video was played for the jury today. At first, the defendant denies having anything to do with the murders, but then says that he was threatened by his girlfriend to commit the crimes because she didn't like that Milanovich was allegedly stealing drug business from her. This trial resumes tomorrow morning. Closing arguments are expected, and then the jury will get to deliberate. If found guilty, Avila Rodriguez would be automatically sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Check out traffic right now. Let's go to I-10 and Frio, where you can see things are definitely backing up in the eastbound lanes of I-10. And really right now, the westbound lanes, the lower level there, you can see very slow going. Both the upper and lower levels on the eastbound lanes as you head towards downtown are backing up. Very busy on this Thursday evening.
Look outside with live cam. Meanwhile, we all need a break sometimes. Sometimes it's from the cold. That's what we got today, at least for a bit. Adam Caskey.
And Myra, we got your 70s.
That's right. I noticed that. You know, I took notes. 70s.
Yeah, not just 70, but 70s across the board. 33 this morning, though. We had the chill this morning. Then by the afternoon, we were up to 72 for the high temperature in town. 77 Rock Springs and Junction. Kerrville, almost 80 degrees at 79, but don't get used to it. A cold front hits tonight. Tomorrow, most of the afternoon will be spent in the 40s. Saturday and Sunday, high temperatures in the 40s. So another cool down is on the way with some gusty winds. We'll get into how windy it'll get tomorrow in a moment. And with the warming trend next week comes better rain chances. We're going to time that out for you in a bit.
Here's a look at what's coming your way tonight on the Night Beat. Just about everyone in San Antonio and our surrounding areas making adjustments with the recent cold snap. That includes how we care for our trees. Tonight on the Night Beat, what you need to know about protecting your backyard from these roller coaster temperatures we often see in South Texas.
I don't know what we call this point in the roller coaster, but we have another cold front headed this way. Question first, though, did Adam Caskey get his lacquering done today with these 70s?
What? But yeah, that's really, I've been on pins and needles.
I know. Waiting to find out.
Steve was calling me and calling me. And
have you lacquered yet?
Yeah. And guess what? I did. I got like 4 or 5 boards back and front done, so I'm good to go for a while. Next week in the rain, I won't be lacquering. Won't be putting that urethane down. I use the Spar urethane. That works the best, I've noticed, for the wood for my outdoor thermometers.
It's fascinating.
I know it is. Thank you. Let's move on. Don't get don't get too aggressive putting the plants back outside or uncovering the plants because, yes, it was warm today, but another hard freeze is coming Saturday morning. So I'm just waiting until really Sunday afternoon or even into Monday to put the potted plants back outside. Look at the warmth we have, 60s and 70s. Oh, it even looked good outside. It felt great outside, still feels good outside. But here's our cold front, our next cold front in North Texas. Look at Oklahoma City, already to 39, 55 in Dallas, 31 in Guymon, Oklahoma. Meanwhile, here in San Antonio, officially at 68, Kerrville 73, Castroville right now at an even 70. Tomorrow morning, we start the day in the 30s, so feeling a chill to start the day and just a little below freezing to the north of town and in parts of the hill country. Bandera 32, Kerrville 29. Tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., 31, Bernie and Bulverde. And we're not going to warm up as aggressively tomorrow as we did today. 45 at noon and then right near 50 degrees for a high temperature. So pretty much all afternoon we'll have temperatures in the 40s. Not only that, very windy. Tomorrow morning at the bus stop, wind chills at times dipping down into the 20s. So here's our future cast for our wind gusts. And notice midnight tonight ahead of the cold front, not all that bad. Maybe some wind gusts 5 to 10 miles per hour. But by 4 a.m., the wind really starts whipping. At that point, we're talking wind gusts in about the 35 mile per hour range. And then tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., that's when our wind gusts peak at 40 to 45 miles per hour. So that's when the wind chills will periodically dip down into the 20s, and you will notice that gusty wind tomorrow. Luckily, by the afternoon and evening, that wind starts to pump the brakes. And by tomorrow night, the wind really simmers down. But that will lead to the hard freeze Saturday morning. Notice our rain chances. Oh, take this in. It has been a while since we've seen good, even consistent rain chances on this chart, peaking at 80% on Sunday night. Now, here's the situation. Here's the overall weather pattern. Big swirl out in the Pacific. This swirl south of Alaska, this is going to start throwing a conveyor belt or parade of disturbances our way. First one, that hits on Monday or even Sunday night, increasing those rain chances. Then our second disturbance, that hits Tuesday, lasting on into Wednesday, more scattered to widespread rain. There will be some breaks in the action, keep that in mind, in between these systems. But bottom line, we have 3 systems that'll be pushed our way, and all 3 of them should give us some much needed moisture. How much? It's still early, but I think easily we could pick up a good 2 inches or more around San Antonio in most neighborhoods over the next 7 days. Even higher amounts farther to the east, closer to the Gulf Coast. So this is good. This is promising. Coming up at 6:45, the newest drought monitor to show just how badly we need that rain. Notice next week, back in the 60s, just liquid precipitation, not frozen.
Good.
Yeah, that is a good thing. Thanks, Adam.
All right, can the dream season for the Texans continue in chilly Baltimore, Larry?
Well, in C.J. Stroud, the Texans trust, and they really feel they have their quarterback, and they do believe they can go into Baltimore and beat the Ravens, led by their rookie quarterback. And Mia Taylor from right here in town at Veterans Memorial High School reached a pretty cool milestone last night. Coming up.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Despite another first-round playoff exit, Jerry Jones is keeping head coach Mike McCarthy, much to the dismay of some Cowboys fans. Coach is entering the final year of his contract, and he plans to make the most of it.
I'm not very comfortable talking about myself, but I came here to win a championship. I didn't come here to get another contract or anything other than that. I came to Dallas to win the world championship, and that's why I'm standing here and buy into us.
In the AFC, the Houston Texans are getting ready to play at the Baltimore Ravens Saturday, 3:30 p.m. in the divisional round. The Ravens are favored by 9 to advance to the AFC Championship. The Texans played at the Ravens in Week 1, and they lost 25-9. Rookie C.J. Stroud passed for 255 yards in his NFL debut with no touchdowns and 1 fumble loss. Since then, Stroud has improved a lot, and he has become the quarterback for the Houston Texans.
I think just his demeanor and how he's grown as a leader has really stepped up, right, big time for us, and when we need him most, I feel like just throughout the entire season, now at this moment, like he's the leader that we need him to be, he's the player that we need him to be. His demeanor, right, on the field, off the field, is exactly what you want out of a starting quarterback.
The Texans are the 4th team in NFL history to win a playoff game with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback. Veterans Memorial High School wrestler Mia Taylor is a force on the mat. Last night, she defeated a wrestler from Wagner High School by fall in the first period, and in the process, Mia picked up career victory 100. Now, she didn't take up wrestling until her freshman year in high school, and now the 3-time district champ hit the century mark. KSAT 12 Sports was there, and we talked with Mia after the match and asked her how does it feel to hit 100 wins, and she did it on senior night.
I'm feeling great, honestly. It was a great little rush. I had so many fans and friends here to support, so I'm super excited.
What did it mean for you to see that sign that was made for you to set 100 wins?
Oh, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, saying that you had 100 wins and actually kind of getting to visualize that is like 2 different things. So it was really awesome, truly.
And talk us through the match. What happened out there?
Yeah, most definitely. So recently, we've been working on setting the tone of the match really early on. I came into it with a faster paced mindset. I was ready to go out there, attack, get as many ties as I could, see if I could work the snap. And I was successfully able to get a hip throw, which was good. And then after that, I just went back to my offense, working my snaps until she was completely broken down. I was able to get my half in, so it's pretty great.
And who was here tonight special to you that helped you celebrate?
My parents, my mom and my dad were here, as well as so many friends. So,
are you proud of yourself?
I'm very proud of myself, and honestly, this is just the beginning, and I'm really excited for districts, regionals, and state.
Mia's high school wrestling record is now 130.
Way to go, Mia.
I love that
Absolutely.
shirt. Wrestled like a girl.
Yeah, and there's a cool story behind that as well, which we're going to break down in upcoming weeks.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Like it.
Thank you, Larry.
Thanks, Larry.
We're getting answers to your medical questions in Doc Talk up next.